What's up, YouTube? Andrew Aquino back. Oh, what are we doing today? We are doing a driving vlog to test our audio equipment and see if this is something that's even feasible. I do live pretty far out from where I work and where my boys are, so I just want to make sure that the audio quality is good enough for you guys, just to make sure that we can actually have a good video. So, without further ado, let's do this. What are we going to talk about today? Well, the current trends that I've been noticing in firearm purchases, things like that, are going a little backwards, myself included. And I don't mean backwards as in we're not buying any more or we're not buying enough. We're just buying different kinds. The AR-15 craze has pretty much died down. And I'm not saying that to celebrate. I'm not saying that to do... There's no hidden meaning behind that. What I'm getting at is that I think for the market right now, there is enough people that own AR-15s and they are comfortable with the ones that they have. There was the black rifle craze of 2013 when Obama went up and got reelected again and did some aggressive firearm legislation, which ended up biting him in the ass, because look at how many gun owners went out and bought weapons. I'm convinced the United States populace has more small arms than the entire military, which is, we can thank Obama for that. I'm sure there's enough figures to show that I believe the stats show there's 3 guns for every one man or one owner. Me personally, I have several. I won't say how many I have. I just got enough, and that's good. And that's good for me because I take care of my stuff. But more importantly, it should be noted that without careful choices and selections in my firearms, I would be thrown around as far as cartridges go. So you want to consolidate what you have if you can, and make sure that you have enough ammo for those rifles, pistols, etc. that you own. Just kind of throwing some ideas out there, but one in particular thing, and going back to the beginning of my conversation, was that people are buying older weapons, revolvers, lever action rifles, lever action pistols like mare's legs, things like that. And why are people doing this? Well, I think because us as shooters, we like a little bit of challenge and variation in what we shoot. And shooting an AR-15 with an aim point, or a loopholed optic, or an ACOG Trijicon if you got one, or an RMR if you got one, whatever it is that you have, it's pretty damn easy. Shooting with the optics really just takes out any error once you have the rifle zeroed. I mean, why would you keep pushing yourself if you already know from a sitting target you're going to hit it no matter what? There's very little variation, and most shooters aren't going out past 200, 300 yards anyways, even though a good quality 5.56 cartridge can get you out to about 700 yards. I'm not saying it's going to be moving fast. I'm not saying it's going to deliver a large amount of terminal energy or muzzle energy when you get to it, when it gets to its target, but it is going to impact accurately. So all that considered, I think we're looking for the next level of shooting, which in fact goes backwards. It's old world shooting. It's having only 10 rounds at your disposal, 10 cartridges, and having to hit all 10 times with that cartridge. Being that I'm in California, we're already limited as it is to how many rounds we can legally have in our weapons. And I'm not saying I comply, I'm not saying I'm not complying, I'm just saying what the law is. So with all that being said, how often do you hit your target every single time? I know for me, if I only have 10 rounds at my disposal in one box magazine, I'm going to try to hit all 10 times, because why not? I mean, I don't have very much room for error here, so I want to make sure I get my target correct. And the other thing to consider is that especially for, let's just use recreational shooting as an example. You know, ammo is expensive. We don't want to waste it. So, you know, being limited to 10 rounds in your lever action rifle, whether it be tube fed or pump fed, whichever way you decide to purchase one, you know, it's critical that you save your ammo. And I save it. I want you to shoot. I want you to get out and shoot, but I want you to make sure you're hitting your impacts and you're doing it right. If your groups are bigger than a 50-cent coin, if you probably don't even know what a 50-cent coin is, but probably about an inch to an inch and a half ish, your groups should be that tight. If they're not that tight, you're definitely gonna have to go back to get some training and figure out what it is that you're doing wrong in your posture or your breathing or your trigger control, things like that are screwing up your shots, because you should be more accurate than that. Especially if you're spending a lot on your rifle, you should definitely be more accurate than that. So for me personally, I've started using a Henry Big Boy and 357 Magnum. I went out to Little Creek out here in San Bernardino, and I shot 100 rounds of 38 Special out of my Henry Big Boy, and I thought the 38 Special was going to give a little bit of more of a wallop than I anticipated. They were Winchester White Box, so it's not like they were like super hardcore plus P ammo, that type stuff. It literally was probably as smooth, if not maybe even lighter than a 22. I don't know, maybe I was just psyching myself out because I thought it was bigger cartridge than a 22, so it should hit harder. But I did exceptionally well at 25 yards with it. It is still a pistol cartridge, so I wouldn't really push it past 50 yards. Maybe with the rifle we can do that. And we'll get our hands on some quality steel targets next, so that when we upload our videos, we can go ahead and showcase that at 50 yards or maybe even 100 yards. So we're going to push ourselves to do that. And again, going back to the challenge thing, you know, I want to challenge myself as a shooter, and I've shot AR-15s for damn near since 2004 when I first joined the Marine Corps, or M16s over there, just because of the 3-round burst. But essentially it's same rifle, same round, same ballistics, all that stuff. So I'm not saying I'm bored of it. What I'm getting at is that my type of shooting has changed. It has gone from the offensive Marine Corps tactics to more of the finer things, the finesse of shooting, which would be probably more cowboy, old world type shooting, because those types of shooting styles with a heavier rifle with less ammo makes the job that much more difficult. So, you know, that's just my thoughts on where we are going with shooting and how we are, as a society of shooters, are moving forward. This should be done exceptionally well with lever action rifles and revolvers. And I don't have a revolver yet, and for the longest part of me, I've always been not really interested in revolvers, just because they only hold 5 to 7 rounds, and I was like, you know what, if I have to pull the hammer back for a single action revolver every single time, this isn't something that I want to use for a defensive purpose. So anyways, I will be probably looking into a single action revolver next. I think it only pairs well with a Henry Big Boy, so we will definitely start looking at that. I'm not sure if you guys have any recommendations for a revolver. I've seen some, you know, at Bass Pro and the other gun shops that I go to, but I just want to make sure that I take some good time to research one. I have a good buddy that gives me tips here and there, and he recommended, you know, something in a 45 Long Colt, which could be the next cartridge that we move on to next. But I have a good inclination that we're going to be getting our hands on a 45-70 Henry rifle. So stay tuned for that, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be as smooth as shooting a train out of a cannon. So I look forward to that, and I hope you guys do too. So go ahead and check us out on the next one.